Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's yours truly, Mike Marino, bringing it to you live from my mother's basement. And as you could tell by what's going on in the kitchen, I'm not in my mother's basement. I'm in Los Angeles, California. Once again, misplaced from the family on a holiday. This time it happens to be Easter Sunday, and I'm in Los Angeles. But I'm going back to New Jersey next week because I begin my next big comedy tour. And today, we're on our way to go to a little Easter party here in Los Angeles or Burbank, California. And one of the coolest things is I have an East Coast friend with me right here, right now on the show. And it is the one, the only from Long Island, New York. This is Sal, the voice, Valentinetti. Say hello to Sal, everybody.
Happy Easter, everybody. Buona Pasqua.
We grew up saying, there's so many Italian people from the East Coast that they know how to say things like Buona Pasqua. They know how to say Buona Natale. But you ask them to have a conversation in Italian, and that's that.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's as far as it goes.
I don't even know how that all happened, that at one time everybody was bilingual that came over on the boat. And now all of a sudden, the next generations, they can't say anything but like fangul.
Well, that's not even Italian.
Well,
Like, there's no G in fanculo.
Well, what is
like gabagool. We say gabagool.
Yeah.
Right? Capricciola
Capricola
is gabagool. So we say gabagool.
I always say gabagool.
Yeah.
I never even knew it was capricola until I moved to Los Angeles. And then everybody was like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "Gabagool. Where's the gabagool?"
Where's the gabagool? I'll take a pound of gabagool.
I gotta take a pound. And they were like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling. I'm asking."
Where's the gabagool?
Yeah. But anyway, so that's very interesting. Right now, we got some friends writing into the show. We'll try not to shake the table. We weren't extremely prepared, but we do have some snacks. We do have some Italian delicacies. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the career of yours truly, Sal Valentinetti. So, Brian, it's nice to see you. Mr. Sokol, it's nice to see you, too. I hope you guys are having a great time back there in New Jersey. Nancy Fogno from my hometown in the Marion section of Jersey City, New Jersey. A lot of people writing in. Brandon Bruno from Rockstar Clothing. I think you met Brandon.
I did have a Brandon.
That's right, because you remember we had the watches.
Yep. I had the watch and I had the T-shirts.
Brandon Bruno from Rockstar Clothing. It's nice to see you. Happy Easter, everybody, and thank you so much for writing into the show. Of course, we're here live on Facebook. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Nobody seems to be writing in, which is really, really weird. Well, there goes Rosemary. All right, I stand corrected. Nice to see you. And Tina, it's nice to see you. And I'm here with Sal Valentinetti. And there's Cody Hawk from out in a different part of the country. See how everybody's going to write in now like lightning speed. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So listen, we're going to talk today about what's going on in the world. Now, we're in Los Angeles, California, because we're both in show business. Right now, of course, we're misplaced.
Very.
We're misplaced because, okay, we come from Italian Catholic families. And where is our family today? Probably surrounded this big, huge table with food coming in from Francis and Jerry and Pete and Anthony.
My mother gave me the menu. When I called home the other day, said, "Hey, how's things going?" "Oh, we're having this, we're having this, we're having this." It's kind of torture. But I'm doing a show out in Oklahoma next week, and I'm having my roadie meet me in Oklahoma with a dish, a frozen dish, my mother's baked ziti. So that's going to happen.
That's an Italian fella. When you're going to Oklahoma on tour, and your mom, who's full-blooded Italian, says, "Oh, no, you're not eating that kind of food. I'm going to make you something nice, and I'm going to get it to you." So he has a roadie driving from New York to Oklahoma with baked ziti,
almost like if it was like a courier with a heart. Except that it's baked ziti.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's bringing them the liver, the transplant. But
it's just as important, especially out here.
When I first came to California, back in the day when I was around your age, my mother used to mail me, I'm not even kidding, a box like this, back at the time when mailing something was expensive. She would mail me meatballs and braciole inside what we called gravy. I don't know whether you say gravy or sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce,
All
right?
right. All backward. That's okay.
It's not really a Jersey thing, I think. I don't know.
It's a Jersey Philly thing. Because I go to Boston, nobody says gravy.
Ooh.
New York, nobody says gravy. Brooklyn, they call it gravy. Some of them call it gravy. right into that.
It's an argument for a different show.
Yeah.
All right, but I would say gravy. My mother said gravy, who's born and raised in Italy, so I don't get it. But that's what she said. It had something to do with the meat. Let's put it that way. Okay. Well, my mother would take the braciole, the meatballs, the sausage, and the what's one more meat that would be in, let's say, sauce?
Sausage, braciole,
meatballs, pork.
Sometimes they put sometimes the spare ribs in there. They put the
Ribs.
in there.
Oh, and the meat would fall off the bone and just
God.
melts in your mouth, and that's why we called it gravy.
You ever eat the string by accident?
No, and then you're gonna have to explain that.
Yeah. So
braciole is held together with string
because you're making it in the sauce.
and
you ever make
toothpicks.
like what's a fucking dish? Beef stroganoff. Not here at the table. Beef stroganoff. You ever have beef stroganoff? It's all very tender. What happens? You put the meat in the sauce, just like the stew. It gets very tender. It cooks the meat slow, very tender. And in order to keep it from falling apart, it comes wrapped in string.
Right.
Now, my fat ass, I go right in. I put a hand right in the pot, pull it out, and start eating it. One time I ate the string. I ate the string. I was in the bathroom for 3 hours. I was like a wind-up toy.
Like more balls coming out of your ass. What you find in your ass? braciole.
Oh, God.
I want to do a shout out real quick. This is Erin O'Brien. She's a great actress. She came to the show. And there's our friends, Uncle Louie from the Uncle Louie Show.
Oh!
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hello, happy Easter, buona Pasqua. You?
Look at half of these guys are writing in from Italy, and they're talking in Italian. Polpette in Italian is
polpetta is meatballs, and braciole, polpetta è con il ragù. Ragù is a meat sauce. See?
Well,
that's how you say.
You say ragu in our neighborhood. Someone's gonna get hurt. My mother came to visit me once here in California. Had a jar of ragu in the cabinet. She just started crying. Is this what I taught you? Is this all you know?
Sauce. They don't have like Rayo's or Victoria. Like that's acceptable. I've had like Victoria's sauce. That's acceptable. Rayo's. That's acceptable. Ragu, Prego, all that crap. Like Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee. You remember Chef Boyardee? I remember when I was a little kid and everybody went to school. I came from a very big Italian neighborhood, and when everybody went to school, they had brown bags. At the bottom of the brown bag was oil, grease stains. Everybody had meatballs left over, greasy shit. And then the mitigans, so my mother would say the mitigans, they had the Chef Boyardee ravioli out of the can. Oh, I used to say to my mother, why can't we have this? Crack right in the head.
Lunchables. My generation had these Lunchables. It's like prepackaged, like meat and crackers in it. Give me a little ham sandwich. Never. I used to go with a grease stained thorough bag, with the rolled up. My mother used to put, or my mother used to make like, she would do sausage and peppers or something like that. She gave me the container too. I had to bring home the plastic container. All my other friends had Lunchables. I was in a very like German-Irish neighborhood, you know?
The neighborhood when I was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, in the Marion section, everybody was Italian. And when we moved to the suburbs, they had a street called Cook Avenue. This street was so Italian. You walked out there and you're like, hey, Di Francesco. And everybody came out of the house.
Yeah.
But, it's a nice way to grow up.
Francesco's out here.
No, they ain't no Di Francesco.
No. Oh, my God.
We're lucky we could find some places out here to get some good Italian, authentic food. So we went over to this place called Pinocchio's in Burbank, and we got ourselves a nice little appetizer.
Antipasto.
Well, I really can't say antipasto the way I would, because there's no olives here. There's no delicacy meats.
Usually, like antipasto in my house is a dish the size of like a gun, like a big one of those big guns. They put it on the table and they roll the meat all over it. It looks like a flour.
Yeah.
It takes like an hour.
Oh yes, yes. It's got the hams.
At least we got Lucatelli cheese.
Yes, we got some Lucatelli cheese.
Show 'em.
That is now the official sponsor of Mike Marino live on tour. So if you come in to see the show anywhere, we got Lucatelli cheese, which is delicious.
Nice,
you can get anywhere around the world. But we also got some pepperoni and salami. Now, of course, there's no, what's another Italian delicacy? Meat.
Well, there's
Super sod.
there's no super sod. No, nothing. That's all right.
Actually, in my family, crackers wouldn't be in the plate. This is American.
Bread on the side.
There's some bread.
And we'll get you have the Easter bread, the lard bread with the prosciutto in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Before I came back out to California, somebody gave me these. Now, this is an Easter, hardcore Italian Easter. I don't know what the hell it is.
No, it's not on here.
I got two bags of them.
That's what it's called.
They're not very good, gotta be honest.
You got to get the little. My aunt goes to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx, the Arthur Avenue Market every year, and she gets the little rally. They're like little bows. These are huge.
We got some wine. We're gonna be going to a party. There's gonna be a lot of great food at the party.
The wine should make this better.
Yeah. Peanut butter would make them better. Or some sauce.
Sauce. My father used to take them out of the container and just stand in front of the fridge like it was a lunch counter and just dip them into the sauce. But there was this little twist. Really good. You get a burrata, you cut it open, it's got all the guts inside. You take it, you just scoop it out. Oh my God. See you guys in Wildwood. I will see you June 5th. Where are we going to be, Mike? Tell me.
Well, I'm seeing all these people that are writing into the show, which is really, really great. That's Charlene Corvino, and she's out in Las Vegas. Hi, Charlene. How you doing? I'm hanging out with Sal, the voice, Valentinetti. Just kicked some serious ass all over America's Got Talent. We've been doing a lot of shows together on stage, which is really, really great. And here's our friend Denny. And Denny's a really big fan of our friend Dina Martin. And he's writing in from the Italian American Club in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're all going to be coming to Las Vegas and many, many different cities. And you're going to be really, really happy with the show. I mean, you don't have to be Italian to love what we're doing. I mean, it might help out a little bit. But, you know, the music is great. The comedy is a lot of fun. And we're all sponsored by Luca Cheese.
Italians, people wish they were Italian.
Yeah.
Got to be real about it. Let's try this pepperoni. Maybe that don't make the Corrali good. You wrap it like that, make a little sandwich salad.
I feel bad we don't have any sauce for him to dip that in. But if you talk about this, now watch, I bet you, no matter what, he's going to understand exactly where I'm going. Back in the day when you were living at home with your family, whether it was Easter Sunday or just a Sunday in general, you woke up to that smell of that sauce in the kitchen simmering.
Oh, yeah.
Just simmering.
Even before that, you get the smell. It's always like 6, 7 a.m. when it starts. My mother would take the garlic and slice it nice and thin, and then put a little olive oil at the bottom of the pot, and just put on low heat, and let that garlic just emulsify in the oil.
Marinate.
It's clear with a marinade.
Marinate.
It's freaking unbelievable. That smell alone with the Italian gold, that garlic, forget it.
Putting the garlic in that big pan and simmering it with that olive oil is just the best. And if you take that garlic and you, like in Goodfellas, you slice it nice and thin, and it starts to sizzle, like that little crackling noise that it makes down there. And that's when your mother came over and started putting in the tomato paste.
A little bit of meat. You brown the meat in the bottom.
Meat was in the other thing, sauteing.
Right. And then you put a little bit of tomato paste. Then the San Marzano tomatoes. I don't know what kind of tomatoes your mother used. My mother always got San Marzano tomatoes. They had the Nina in the big giant can. She would get them already peeled, so that you just have to boom, put them in the food processor, make them, nice. Put the whole thing through a sieve, because if the seeds get in the sauce gets better. Can't have bitter sauce.
That I didn't know that.
Whatever.
Very interesting. No seeds in the sauce.
No seeds.
I can never have seeds anymore anyway. I got diverticulitis.
You can't have seeds.
All right.
You get stuck up there. But then the tomatoes, a little bit of basil, salt, pepper. Some people use wine. My mother never used wine. If you make it slow and long enough, all the bitterness, all the acidity, it all just cooks out. You have this beautiful, sweet, aromatic sauce with basil. Then you take a piece of bread, you take your Locatelli cheese, cut a little piece, you dip it in the sauce, put cheese on it, munch.
Right now, not even to interrupt because this became a cooking show,
Oh, yeah.
is Susie Yango from Catch a Rising Star. Look, Bona Pasqua, she's saying, and make sure that no matter what we do, we cook with Lucatelli cheese and Calavita olive oil, which
That's
we're
right.
hoping is going to be a proud sponsor of us on tour around the world as
They
well.
better be, because I already owe me $20 for that.
Look, we just finished eating. You guys are making me hungry.
That's what we do. See, Italians, when we talk about food, the reason why I'm a gavone, when we talk about food, we talk about it with such a romance about it. There's so much, there's a beauty behind everything that we eat. There's a purpose behind it.
Eating to us is kind of sexual.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes, and I don't want to speak for him. He's a lot younger than me. Sometimes food might trump sex.
Sometimes we combine it.
Well, yeah. It just became a dirty show. As my sons eat. What do you mean you're done eating? Maybe I'm not. So getting back to the original crux of the story, we get up early on a Sunday morning, and you smell this unbelievable stuff going on in the house. Now the kids are upstairs in their rooms, your mother's on the first floor, and your father's in the basement doing God knows what. And all of a sudden, wake up everybody, you're going to be late for church. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. You weren't allowed to eat before church.
Can't touch anything.
I remember my mother wouldn't talk to my father for 3 days because you dumped a piece of bread before we went to church. So I can't believe you. You're not the man I married. Bread in the sauce. And that same woman, the devout Catholic, would beat us in public.
Yeah. But I remember we would go to church, right? And then on the way home from church, that's when your mother signaled your father somehow, because there was no cell phones, but your father got that message. I don't know how he got it, but it said, go to the deli, pick up some bread and whatever else they would have needed for the day, like basket cheese or maybe some kind of ricotta cheese or whatever it is. And something for the table. Got to bring something for the table. So then they would come home with these long, beautiful pieces of Italian bread, sometimes French bread. And you weren't allowed to touch this bread. But how are you going to get past that pot of sauce without doing something? What are you going to do? Stick your finger in, you'd burn your finger.
Right.
So mommy went someplace else in the house, and what'd you do? You took what we called the ash of the bread.
The heel. We call it the heel.
The heel, because it does look like the heel of a foot. My mother called it the ass. So we take the ash of the bread, and you dip it in the sauce, and you put a little grated cheese. Did you ever put cheese on it?
Oh, yeah.
A little grated cheese.
Sometimes
Looked like a tiny little pizza.
hot red pepper.
A hot red pepper or some pieces of garlic if you could find it.
Oh, yeah.
And you put it on that. Put it on that, and then you'd eat it. You'd burn the shit out of your mouth. You'd be like, ah, ah. But then you'd eat it again right away.
You bite it immediately.
You ever eat a slice of pizza? You burn your roof of your mouth, and then you just keep eating it anyway.
Just keep going.
Like you didn't learn your lesson
Can't stop.
because you're a gavone. You gotta remember, we gotta explain that word, what that is.
Gavone.
It's like a jerk.
It's not a jerk. Well, it could be a jerk. A gavone is somebody who consumes everything in sight. Now, you could be a gavone if you're selfish. You're a gavone. Ooh. But you could also be a gavone if you like to eat, which we do. Salud, look at that.
Salud.
A little sandwich that you do with the
You made a mini sandwich.
How you doing?
All right, so you're a gavone if you eat too much, or you eat out of like a gavone is also the type of guy who sits down to eat and he don't wait for everybody. You can't eat before everybody sits down. You get slapped in the back of the head. So everybody got to sit down, and then you start to eat proper. Even if your mother's in the kitchen, you ain't, and she goes, eat without me, eat without me. You don't eat without your mother.
When I go to restaurants, I know who was raised like he wasn't. Sometimes some people get their entrees before other people. The right thing to do, you sit at your table, you wait till everybody at the table is served.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. If
Some people are gavones.
yeah, you ever go out with maybe you're out with a friend, and you're sitting down, and she decides, I'm going to start eating before the waiter brings out your dish. And you can tell your future ain't going to work.
Like they're doing
Hey.
this in Bronxtown.
That's right. She don't touch that thing, open the door.
No.
It's not going to be good. Same thing when you're sitting down in a restaurant. You sit down, her meal comes out, and yours is still cooking for some reason or other. You don't touch that. You notice we were at the club last night.
Yeah, he got his food first.
My food came out, and
I told him. That's different. When somebody says, go ahead and eat, it's going to get cold, mine's coming out. That's okay. But he waited. He waited.
I waited. That's the way I was raised. Even when the guy came over, and he goes, it's going to get cold. That's okay. He didn't get his dish yet.
It's their fault.
Yeah. They should have. How do you bring out one plate and not the other plate anyway? It's the restaurant's fault.
How about that diner before? You ever been to a diner where it took you 20 minutes to get a cup of coffee?
Even 5 minutes is exhausting. The place was empty. This is the No Hold Diner here in North Hollywood, California.
Three
Used
waitresses
to be called
before us.
Sittings. Yeah, that's all that was in there. 3 waiters, 2 cooks, and me and
What
him.
did you say it was called?
The North Hollywood
What it
Diner.
used to be called?
Sittings.
They should have kept it in because all you're doing is sitting and not eating.
Sittings. And so we're sitting there waiting for somebody to come over, give us some service. I ordered a cup of coffee. The lady disappeared. Then she comes back with the coffee, and we say, can I have a check, because we're going to leave. Doesn't make you feel good, you know? We want to walk into a place. Hey, how you doing? Is everybody here? Come on, sit down. Hey, oh.
It's like I was, they were doing me a favor by coming over and bringing me coffee.
Yeah. If anything, they say, if coffee's going to be a couple minutes, we're going to make a fresh pot, because we saw that you just came in.
They didn't even do that. She heated it up. She put it back on the thing.
Look, we're getting a letter from someone who's Jewish, and that is J.C. Dreesen, and she's a great entertainer. She's a singer from Long Island. She was at the show when you came, when we were at Governor's, and she goes, you guys are killing me. I have to have Monster all week because she's fasting. Well, happy Passover to you, and, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Make sure you don't eat nothing until your time is whatever it is. But, we keep on hitting all these great stories, but we didn't finish. What happens when your mother finds out that you took the heel or the ash of the bread, you dipped it in the sauce. What we used to do is to hide the fact that we lifted it up, we took the bread out and shoved it back in the reverse. So then you could see the heel on the other thing. But my mother, yeah.
Get over here!
Which one of you bastards? My mother used to say,
your dirty hands.
with your dirty hands, wherever your hands have been and you're touching the bread, your cousins are coming over.
Why don't you just put your fingers in your Aunt Lucille's mouth?
Where have your fingers been? And you little kid, you start thinking, I don't know, where was my fingers? But man, back in those days, it really missed the way things used to be. Now you have 2 misplaced Italian kids from guy from back east out here struggling, well, not struggling, whatever it is that we do in the entertainment business. And here we are fighting the fight to get in the game, whether it's funny or whether it's music. It's crazy, but here we are. We're having fun, and everybody's watching the show, and we're kicking ass.
That's the thing. It's out here. It's so unique. People look at us like we're from another planet. Back home, we're just 2 guys.
Hey, here's a good shout out to our friend who's an actor in the industry. That's Gennaro Pastore. He's a phenomenal actor. He's been in a lot of movies, a lot of TV programs, and we want to say, Happy Easter, Gary. Happy Easter, Eileen. Charlene, I miss you. We're going to be coming out to Vegas very, very soon. Brian Figueroa. Nice to see everybody. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out and spending some time with me and Sal while we're doing what we have to do here in Los Angeles, California. We all have a lot of shows, and we're going to talk about that. Right now, we want to finish up talking about how we miss Easter on the East Coast.
We decided to spend Easter with all of the Italians in LA, so we're here.
We called up every Italian in Los Angeles.
All
Actually, there are a lot of Italians in Los Angeles. They're just a little bit dispersed. But if you go to Northern California, the Napa Valley, and of course San Francisco, there's a lot of Italian people, especially in San Francisco, where they got the Ghirardelli Square.
The wine's good.
Right. You grab yourself some wine on the way over, you go up to Grapevine, and then you're happy.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
and then you get Lucatelli cheese.
You gotta get Lucatelli cheese. Look at this. You know what they call a Russian dictator on a cracker?
What?
Putin on a Ritz.
Putin on the Ritz. I can't even laugh. I got cheese in my mouth. Son of a bitch. That's some gooey cheese and gnocchi.
Check this out. This is how, you know, ain't part of this elegant bullshit I am.
Isn't it funny? He came over in a tracksuit, and my tracksuit's hanging on the wall. You know what it is? It's called being comfortable. I just want to be comfortable.
Especially like holidays, you know you're going to expand. So instead of expanding into your belt buckle, you want to be comfortable.
Let's do a shout out to the Wise Guy Talk Show in New Jersey. There's Michael DeGennaro right there, Jumpin' Gennaro. It's nice to see you. The Wise Guy Talk Show is a great show. It also airs on ddvradio.com, which airs Mike Marino live from my mother's basement, also on ddvradio.com and Italian American Radio out of New York City.com. So we're so happy to be on those channels. In fact, I bet you any money, Mike, if we call everybody over at the Wise Guy Show and say that it would be nice to have Sal Valentinetti himself on your show when he's touring the East Coast, I'm sure we can make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody where you're going to be performing? Now, of course, if you don't know, or you're just tuning in now, Sal was the big-time musical killer on America's Got Talent. Walked out on stage and showed everybody, hey, listen, I'm from New York, I'm Italian, this is the way it is. And he sang, and everybody just went ballistic. Now he's selling out theaters around the world. And why don't you tell us about what's going on? And what was that like to be on that big stage that America embraced so fast?
It really changed my life forever. Before that, you know, I was going to school full time. I was delivering pizza. I was singing in like the corners of Italian restaurants on Long Island. Nothing really big. America's Got Talent happened. That changed a lot. Since AGT, 2 albums, The Voice EP, and Christmas Presents, and it really has been a tremendous ride. I get to perform all over the country. This week I'm doing Palm Springs on April 26th at the Indian Wells Theater. May 1st, the Vibrato in Beverly Hills. Then I get some time to go home, got a couple of private things, and then May 18th at the Cabot Theater in Boston, Mass. May 24th at the Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, Long Island. Jersey, June 5th, the Wildwood Convention Center. Me and Mike Marino, a couple of other cast characters. We're going to be doing a nice little show over there at Wildwood. So I've been able to go like to places like Chicago, Detroit. We're really all over. Very, very lucky. Very lucky. And I got to meet guys like Mike Marino here.
You got some friends down in Palm Springs. That's really, really cool. My cousins are in Palm Springs. Send them down to see Sal, watch him do his show, bring him out there live. You can go to his website and find out where he's performing. What's your website?
It's salthevoiceny.com.
There's one of your Long Island friends too right now on the show right now.
Anthony.
Hey Anthony, how you doing, man? It's nice to see you.
Buona Pasqua. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, man. Nice to see you. Then hey, I want to have you on the show next week and when I get back to New Jersey. We're gonna make that happen. All right, a lot of Italian people right now.
A lot of Italian. Joe Sunday from John LaBarca and the Italian house party. Always live on a Sunday. But we're good.
One of the greatest things about being an entertainer is eventually you meet your friends who are entertaining as well. And I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was performing at a theater in, I guess, Pittsburgh called the Palace. Greensburg.
The Palace.
And I was on the show, and a guy said to me, listen, we're going to add Sal Valentinetti to the show. And I go, okay, sounds great to me. What does he do? Because I'm thinking maybe they're bringing in another comedian. And he goes, no, he's the singer from America's Got Talent. I'm like, oh, man, yeah, I know all about this. This is great. Bring it on. So we went down there, and we did a great show. And in the way of like a Dean Martin and a Jerry Lewis, I went on stage, I did my thing. He went on stage, he did his thing. And then later on in the show, we kind of messed around a little bit to see what would happen. And from there, we went on to do more shows and more shows.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because, well, it's more fun for me. I don't know about him because I'm always by myself performing, and I never have a band behind me because I don't sing. But being on the road with Sal, and I get to go on stage, and then here comes the band, and then here he comes. It's a little bit more fun, and an audience gets double the bang, because now you're gonna get some comedy, and you're gonna get some song,
Bang, bang.
and it's just really incredible, and it's kind of old school, like from back in the day. So we're gonna be doing some more stuff like that, and you guys can find out where we're going, what we're doing. And we're going to keep on doing the podcast live from my mother's basement at least once a week. You can find me now on iTunes, iCloud, SoundCloud, Anchor this, and book that. It's on everything. Very, very lucky. You can watch this. And we're broadcasting live right now, but this is also going to rebroadcast many, many, many times. And all you got to do is go to MikeMarino.net, and you'll find everything, especially my YouTube channel, which is at Mike Marino Live on YouTube. And the series that I'm doing, Make America Italian Again, is going to officially welcome Sal Valentinetti to the show, because he will be an ongoing character when you guys start watching what we're going to be shooting. I guarantee you're going to love what he's going to do.
I'm all right.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. Now, of course, we know where we're going to find Sal, and we thanked everybody for having some fun and hanging out with us when we're talking about Easter, but there's some bad things going on in the news right now. Yeah. This fire that's going on out there in France.
Well, there was a fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France. I was there last 2 years ago now, doing a show out there, and the people of France, all those affected. I mean, I think they've already recovered like $1 billion to rebuild the church or something like that, which is great. Nobody was injured, but you know what happened? They're redoing all the facade on the outside of the church. So they had all these big scaffolding all set up, and there was a fire started on the roof and just ripped through all the wooden parts of the church. These old churches are made out of stone. The structure's still there, and they're going to rebuild it.
It's sad when you see things like that happen. And today, of course, in the news, they're showing that a certain kind of shadowing of Jesus is appearing, which, I wish we could all believe in that. And yes, wow, look at that. And that's a beautiful thing. And especially this weekend.
Appeared in the flame.
Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts on stuff like that. We don't want to poke fun at it.
But they're saying Jesus was there.
Yeah, he was there. Too bad he wasn't there the day before with some water and a hose because, I mean, come on. So.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
I'll come in and put out the fire. How did the fire start in the first place?
Yeah, how'd this all happen?
Did Jesus have something to do with it?
I don't think so. But anyway.
I think maybe he's been hitting the incense behind the altar. But,
I was an altar boy. Were you an altar boy?
I was a lector. I got up in red.
Yeah.
I got out of that. I don't want to put the whole rope on. Plus, I didn't have one of my sides. But I was it. I used to get up and read.
I remember
the word of the Lord.
I remember being an altar boy. One of the scariest things was going to that church when nobody was there and stare at a statue and you were just petrified and you could swear it moved. The eyes are moving. The eyes are moving.
Oh yeah, can you believe it? They said, "Oh, if you disobey your mother, something's gonna happen to you." I would have an argument with my mom and run out the house and go walking down the block. And the whole time I'm walking down the block, I'm just looking over my shoulder. I'm waiting for the lightning bolt to go. Something, you don't know. When you're especially I went to Catholic school, the nuns put the fear of God in you.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes. I went to Catholic school, boy, and you were petrified. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's a good thing because nowadays kids are getting away with things they should not get away with. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, if your neighbor slapped the crap out of you because you did something wrong, that was okay.
Yeah,
you get another beating because your father would be like, why'd that guy have to hit you? What did you do so bad that he had to hit you? I'm going to have to hit you again.
Yeah, now, forget it. Remember that show they had years ago called The Slap?
No.
It was a show. I forgot what network it was on. About they were at a party and somebody some kid was being a total jerk to the other guy's kid. The guy comes up and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" The kid's like, "Oh, what's up?" The guy smacks him in the mouth. Now, I know a lot of kids. I see, forget it. You go to Starbucks or something, and the mom's on the phone, and the kids are throwing shit on the floor. Some of the kids need a smack in the mouth. They need a little sister Pat, little sister Mary Alice.
Yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Oh, yeah.
Hit your kids, hit them good. That's why I need to be president of the United States. Once I get in the White House, he becomes vice president. We'll implement the law. Either you hit your kids or we hit them for you. Somebody,
It's gonna happen.
you're gonna grab them by the neck.
Your kids gonna be running around in the store, pulling shit off the racks. All of a sudden, black cat is gonna pull up. Your kid's gonna disappear for a few minutes.
And we bring him back, though.
He's gonna come back.
We do the right thing.
His face is gonna be red. I'm sorry, Mom.
Remember that? My father used to say things like this. I'm going to make your ass look like the side of an apple. That's how red it's going to be. And that was all right. I understood.
My mother told me she's going to turn my ass into a piece of leather. She used to take the wooden spoons and hit me with them, but I guess I got so big that she would hit me with them and they would break. So one day she gets a cherry wood spoon, supposedly a tougher spoon, right? So she runs up, she goes to hit me with it, and it cracks. And I remember, like, my life changed that day because she looked at the two pieces of the wooden spoon. She looks at me, and I just kind of like smiled and closed the door to my room. Like, I got away with it. I didn't get away with it. She waited for like 3-4 hours until I came out of my room, hit me with a broom.
Look at this guy. Oh, that's Anthony. My father said, you're not going to be able to sit down for 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm gonna tan your ass so hard, you ain't going to sit for 5 days. That was all good stuff. I think if you say it to your kids right now, your kids are going to go to the police department and have you arrested for child abuse. That's disgusting.
Can I tell you one time I called the cops on my mother?
No.
So I was in public school before I went to Catholic school. They sat us down and they had us watch a video on the definition of child abuse. So, like, if somebody takes an object and hits you with it, that's child abuse. So one day my mother's about to smack me with a broom. And I said, you can't do that. She looked at me like, who the fuck are you to tell me I can't do that? And I said, no, Mom, that's child abuse. And she goes, abuse? Look around. Look around. You see this house? You have food every day? Are you chained to the bed? You got toys in the backyard? This is hardly abuse. And she turns me around, whacks me with the broom. So I go to the school the next day, and I go to the guidance counselor. I tell the guidance counselor, my mom hit me with a broom. And he goes, oh my gosh. Calls the cops. The cops come down. They're sitting there interviewing. My mother gets called to the school. But the cops never spoke to my mother. The principal called my mother. So then my mother's at the school, the cops are at the school. My mother's standing there, the cop's standing in front of me. The cop goes, so what'd your mother hit you with? I said, a broomstick. He goes, why? And I said, well, I didn't clean my room like I was supposed to. But it's still child abuse. And he goes, no, it's called discipline. He says, go home and clean your room before I come there and really abuse you.
That's a good story. That is a great story. For somebody to say it's not child abuse, it's
discipline.
That's the word.
It's correction.
Discipline your kids.
Yeah, child abuse is like when your dad walks in the door and hits you in the face with his belt just because you're standing there. That's child abuse.
Definitely. That was a great story, and I'm glad you brought that up. Look, you got some fans from Australia. What's going on, Australia?
How you doing?
We're going to get on. Gotta love it out there.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
land down under. That's right.
A lot of Italians in Australia. The weather's nice.
And it's close to Italy.
Is it really?
I don't know. I just thought I'd say
it's the other side of the world. It's in the Pacific Ocean.
It depends on what boat you take.
It depends on how you're going to Italy. If you're going to walk, it's very far.
There are all the people writing in about how they discipline their kids.
Oh, yeah. A slip-up.
Thank you, Jamie.
Ooh, my nonna.
Hi, Diane. Charlene, miss you so much.
My cousin Matthew and I were running around my grandmother's house. She's Italian. She's off the boat. She ain't no shit. Right? We're running around this little house. All of a sudden, the vase falls over and breaks. Now, my grandmother's in the basement doing the laundry. We start hearing the footsteps coming up. We're like, I'm like, bro, we gotta run. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. So he's like, all right. I'm like, you go that way. You go, what was it? You go east and I'll go west, right? But the wind was blowing to the east. So when my grandmother came out to the front porch, my cousin was across the street already, 2 houses down. My grandmother takes a little slipper off and flings it like the Heisman, just whoosh, right? It goes perfect spiral. Hits him right in the back of the head. He falls over onto Mrs. D'Annunzio's front lawn. Mrs. D'Annunzio comes out, and my grandmother goes, "He back in my house! He back in my house!" So Mrs. D'Annunzio takes her shoe off and starts beating the shit out of my cousin. And I made it down the block. I was safe. My cousin never let me live that down. She hit him in the back of the head with the shoe. Boom, like that. Man. She got him like Tom Brady. Found him.
I remember my mother cracked me in the back of the head with a shoe once, and it was a tap shoe, and it hurt like a little metal piece at the bottom. Bing! You'll never be late for school again. No, I won't. I won't. Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez. I remember my father, like he never needed to hit us with anything. It's like,
I mean, there's Dina.
Oh, Dina Martin.
Dina Martin's writing into the show right now. We just mentioned her a little while ago. Where is she? Dina Martin, sending you both lots of love. Dina Martin, hold it, ladies and gentlemen. One of the biggest names in the industry, Dina Martin. Good friend of everybody here. And hi, Dina, and hello to your family. Lay it on us. She's watching the show right now.
So I surprised him. I said, "You're gonna come to music week with me in Burbank." So we're standing in a hotel room about to leave, and I get a call from somebody from NBC to say, "I have someone trying to get in touch with you." I said, "Oh, who?" She said, "Dina Martin." Dina Martin, Dina Martin's daughter, Dina Martin, and she goes, "Yeah." I get on the phone, and it's Dina Martin. And I remember putting her on speaker because I wanted my father to hear it. I don't think I ever told her that I did this. And she's saying how you're bringing back the music for my father and my Uncle Frank. And the whole time, me and my dad are looking at each other. The tears are welling up in my father's eyes. It was the proudest moment for him, and it was a very, very proud moment for me. And all because Dina Martin is such a beautiful soul. I got to thank her. She's over there. Thank you, Dina. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to Dina and John and everybody out there. Thank you so much. I have great stories to tell, of course, with being part of the Dina Martin show on tour and doing the Dina Martin roast like her dad did. And
we got to bring that back, Dina. We're going to do it at the Friars Club this year.
Friars Club, South Point, anywhere you're going, we're going. Let's make that happen. It's a lot of fun, the nicest people. And you want to talk about stories of family. When you listen to Dina Martin tell a story about her uncle Jerry Lewis and her uncle Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and all these guys.
Uncle Frank and like it's Uncle Sammy. And I'm like, just talking about Sammy Davis Jr. Uncle Sammy.
Because, and that's the way, basically, you know, whether it was really your uncle or not, that's the way Italian people show respect to their families by saying uncle, aunt, paisan.
That's right.
Look at that.
Dina, my Aunt Joanna, my sister's godparents, no blood relation whatsoever, not even from the same part of Italy. But we call them aunt and uncle out of respect.
Out of respect. It was out of respect.
It was out of respect.
You know, I was telling you the other night when we went to this restaurant when Dina and John were doing the show in Connecticut and the sound didn't work. And he asked me, could you go on stage? And he handed me the bullhorn. And I think everybody thought, well, maybe he's just kidding around. And I looked at it like, well, this is a gift. Let's see what I can do. And I had a ball.
Well, that's the other thing we both use the bullhorn. The lights went out of Westbury in December. And I said, I'm not going to let these. Some of these people came from like Connecticut and schlepped in from Jersey and everything. I said, I'm going to go out there with a bullhorn. I'm going to do a couple songs for them. What's the big deal going to be? Next day I'm all over the news with the bullhorn. That's no point.
Attention.
And you use the bull. You use the bullhorn the whole show, even when the sun came back on.
Well, yeah, you might as well make the joke repetitive. You know, and this is really, really great because you're going to be playing vibrato on May 1st, and Dina plays vibratos quite often why don't you guys join me at Lorenzo's on Staten Island on May 3rd?
I wish. May 2nd, I'm going to be in Houston.
May 3rd, I have a show in Atlantic City. How about May 4th? Isn't it great? We're actually being asked to join one of the most famous singers in the world on a podcast. This is the greatest day, right?
It's the greatest thing ever. It's Easter.
You know what, Dina? If you guys are going to be in New York City, Staten Island, are you familiar with Lorenzo's?
Well, I'm familiar with Staten Italy. Staten Italy.
Staten
That's
Jersey.
what they call it, Staten Italy. It's just the barrier island between Brooklyn and Jersey. They call it Staten Italy. All the Jersey Italians from Brooklyn go back to Staten Island because that's where all their family gets together. All the people from Brooklyn go to Staten Island. It's the same thing. That's why they call the Verrazano Bridge. They call it the Guinea Gangplank.
It's the Guinea Gangplank.
Back and forth.
You know, I think that's great to say that, and nothing offends me. I'm happy. As long as I'm happy, we're having fun, we're eating good food.
We can say that. You can't say that.
Unbelievable company that we were talking about, Dina Martin and John and everybody from that camp out in,
I thought he
at
meant
the
me,
restaurant
that's
the other
okay.
day, and even Joe Piscopo and folks like
Jersey
this.
Joe. That's right.
So this is a blessing for us all. We're going to end this show because we got to get going. But why don't we just talk about one more time how we could find Sal while he's out there performing?
At Sal the Voice on all social media. That's Sal the Voice on Instagram, Sal the Voice on Facebook, Sal the Voice on YouTube, Sal the Voice on Twitter, Sal the Voice NY.com for all dates. That's beautiful. MikeMarinoLive.com.
Yes. Well, if you're looking for me, you can find me here on Facebook Live. Also, everybody here over on Instagram Live. And also, you can find me on all social media. Everything is at Mike Marino Live. Twitter, Instagram, of course, YouTube. My website is MikeMarino.net. I want to do a nice big shout out and a thank you to Mike Marino's live in concert sponsor, Lucatelli Cheese.
That's
If
right.
you want to have the best cheese, and I'm not even kidding around, you go to Lucatelli.org, Lucatelli.com, and you look up the cheese and you look up all the Italian delicacies that they have. It's fantastic. And come see us live one of these days when we come into your neighborhood, no matter where we go around the world, from Canada to Australia to the United States. We're going to be having fun. If you're looking to find out where Dina Martin is performing, she's writing into the show right now. This is one incredible performer. She is the real-life daughter of the legend himself, Dean Martin. It's Dina Martin. Right now, you can watch her writing into the show right now. Log into her website, which I believe is DinaMartin.com. But you can look her up on all social media just by going into Dina Martin. Okay, we're probably going to be doing a show together soon, which is going to be really, really great. Right now, she's saying that she's performing in Staten Island on May 3rd. So we just did a nice big shout out to her and her career. Guys, you got to go see her show. And if she says anything like, Vinny, get the bat, or she says, let it marinate, she's taking my jokes.
G.I. Giovanni.
G.I. Giovanni. But we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. We're all going to have a lot of fun. Remember, be nice to each other. Let's make America Italian again. Keep watching the web series. And I end my broadcast by always saying the same thing. So let's see if everybody can say it. All right, you ready? How do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By saying the same thing. Don't take no shit from nobody. All right? You've been a great crowd. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely.
Man, isn't that great? Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.